Hey guys, welcome to the MMA Brothers podcast, the newest, baddest, and best podcast out there. And let's get it going.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is the MMA Brothers, and my name is Asher.
My name is Daryl.
And today we have our guest today, who's Adam, the Maverick Assenza. And this is not the first time we're talking to him. This is the second time. And Adam, we're very, very happy to be a part of this fashion show, the Grungy Gentlemen. I think that's what they're called. How excited are you to be a part of this?
Yeah, it's great, man. Grungy Gentlemen's doing things that nobody else, is doing out there. And, they're growing popularity every day. They're already a real big company. And it's just nice, that we're doing something with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I was just looking on Grungy's website and everything, and Adam is the second time advert for the company. So, Adam, walk us through your previous experience with the company and the New York fashion shoot that we had spoken about previously, and how fun that was for you.
Grungy Gentlemen had me come out last February for New York Fashion Week, and I was able to walk in their runway show, and it was a great experience.
Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit about your MMA career. Obviously, you had mentioned before that, going towards the UFC is your dream. Now that we're in stage 3 and the gyms are reopening and stuff, I guess, what are you kind of doing right now to make sure that you are making the necessary steps to continue with your career?
Yeah, I stayed in shape over COVID. Now that we're kind of getting on the other side of COVID, I'm just making sure that I'm, in the best shape that I can be in, getting all the partners that I need, getting, work with every coach that I need to get, work with. I have multiple coaches. So, just staying ready right now and, looking for fights.
Yeah. And more so with looking for fights, weight cuts. Weight cuts are a big thing in MMA. I just wanted to ask you about your worst experience with a weight cut and your best experience, just to compare and contrast the two.
I used to cut weight from a lot higher weight than I do, as of the last few years. And I took a fight on short notice. And I think I only had like 2 or 3 weeks to kind of make the weight. And I was about 35 pounds above where I needed to be. So that was real brutal. I ended up making the weight, but it was horrible. And, typically, I like to stay ready. So I'm always, within 10 pounds of where I need to be, 10 to 15 pounds max of where I need to be. So I can make weight on, 5-6 days, no problem.
So a lot of fighters obviously have dream matchups. I know you're not one to call out people and stuff like that, but if you were to have a dream matchup with any fighter, who would it be?
You know what? There's actually a guy that I was watching recently in the UFC, and his name's not coming to me right now. He's a slick kickboxer. He likes to stand and bang, and that's what I like to do. I like to stand and fight. And I feel as though like that would be a dream matchup for me. For some reason, his name's not coming to my forefront of my mind right now. There's really nobody else that I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, and styles make matchups, as everyone says in MMA. So for yourself and your fighting style, what do you think is better for you? Is it a person who's prominent on the ground? Is it a person who likes to stand and bang? Is it a grappling guy? What do you think your style of fighting best suits you for in terms of an opponent?
Personally, you have to be well-rounded these days. You have to be good everywhere. But definitely an opponent that wants to stand and throw punches and kicks is what best suits me. So that's the guys that I like to fight the most. But you're going to deal with every type of discipline, and you need to be ready to deal with every type of discipline in MMA.
So Burlington isn't necessarily on the map or on the global scale when it comes to MMA. Obviously, we have the Burlington Training Center, and the sport is growing in this community. How does it make you feel knowing that you can be somebody that can put Burlington on the map in terms of MMA?
Definitely extra motivation. It pumps me up, and that's my goal is, put Burlington on the map.
And in terms of young aspiring fighters, people who want to get into the fight game, train. You've obviously gone through that process, and you're in the up and rising in your career. What would you tell to the young kid or the young man, young girl, young female who's wanting to get into MMA? What tools and tricks that have you learned along your path that would help them be on their way?
It's just having, figuring out everything that they need to figure out to cover all aspects. Having a good team, having a good coach, and just making sure that you take your time and not rush as most people do, and just have a good grasp and have a good team and a good plan to kind of get where you want to be.
So I know you obviously are hoping for big achievements, following your career, but so far, what has been the biggest achievement in your career?
In MMA, you're only as good as your last fight, and my last 2 fights were both good wins. So I'm just looking to build off that.
Okay, that's pretty much it for me. Daryl, do you have any last comments?
Yeah, one last question, Adam. What do you want to be remembered for at the end of your career? As soon as you're done fighting, you hang out the gloves. When they think of Adam the Maverick Assenza, what do you want to be the first thing to come to mind?
Action-packed, high-flying, just action-packed fighting style. I want people to want to tune in to fight when I fight. Every time they hear that I'm fighting, I want everybody like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. That's what I want to be remembered for.
Adam, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, brother.